Hi, this is Tris Hussey, Editor-in-Chief at iPhoneHacks.com, and this is a quick overview of my review of the iPad mini. Been playing with it all weekend. I got it Friday morning, and I'll tell you what I love about it. It's light. I can hold it with one hand comfortably. I can sit in bed reading, like catching up on news with Reader, or reading a book, or reading Zeit, catching up on email, Facebook. The Facebook I don't like as much on the Mini. I think it's fine, but it seems just a little cramped. But as far as the screen goes, no, it's not Retina. But when you open up something like Solar Walk, which looks gorgeous on my 3rd gen and 4th gen iPads, it still looks gorgeous on the Mini. And you know, the stereo speakers make a big difference, I think. You know, this is easy to maneuver around and play with. Yeah, I notice some pixels. I have to really pay attention. If I'm jumping right from my iPad, my 4th gen iPad or 3rd gen iPad right to this, yeah, I notice the difference in the screen. But once you're using it, it's still a beautiful, glorious, clear screen. Now you notice that Solar Walk took a little bit extra time to open, and I found this to be the case for just about all the really intense apps, GarageBand, iMovie, games like Real Racing and Air Supremacy and Infinity Blade. I tested all those, and they work, and the gameplay I thought was just fine once they get going, but starting up was a little slow. In fact, Infinity Blade, there's a little bit of a stutter at one of the opening sequences. Now let me bring up Real Racing to HD to show you, or actually more like you'll hear, let me move this out of the way, is the bonus of the stereo speakers. I think for games and then movies, I'll show you a movie in a second, it really makes a difference. It sounds so much better. I tried the same game. Let's just do a quick race. That's good. And I did the same game, played Real Racing on the iPad, full-size 4th gen, and the Mini, and you know what? The sound is better on the Mini, even with my hand maybe covering the speaker a little, but you know what? The gameplay, just fine on the Mini. It moves, it's smooth. I had no issues whatsoever. Sure, things were maybe a little faster and smoother on the 4th gen iPad, but you know what? It's only if you're really, really paying attention will you notice this. Places where this kind of lets down, surfing the web. If we fire up, say, you know, the Apple Canada or Apple.com site, to be able to read text comfortably, sometimes you've got to zoom, double tap and zoom in. It's probably, that's I think the downside. But all the other things I read, Instapaper, Zeit, like books, those were great. Now the other area where I think the Mini is going to shine is to be sort of your sketchbook on the go. Because it's so light and it's easy to, you know, use this on the bus, train, passenger seat in a car. You can quickly just sort of draw a little something and move on. It's really cool. Same thing with reading. Obviously, you can hold it in one hand. Now, for me, when I played with something like with Writing Kit, typing is a bit of a, isn't great. You can see that I don't have a lot of space to read, and I found, I'm going to turn this over, the smart cover for the iPad mini has fewer creases or folds. I didn't feel like it was as stable as the previous smart covers with the metal hinge and more folds. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as rock solid as I would like if I'm going to be using it like that. So, and I did say I was going to show you a movie. I loaded up Inception. and it's letterboxed. And if you zoom in, you do start seeing a little pixelation if you do the full screen. But if you just keep it letterboxed, I think it looks and sounds great. Again, stereo speakers sound really good. In the review, you'll see the results of playing with the camera and video. They worked pretty well, and there we go. That's the iPad mini. It's beautiful to hold. It's light, and I think for me, how this is going to fit into my world is when I go out and about and I want to say get some writing done in a coffee shop or something, or go to a meeting, I'm probably going to take both iPads with me. I don't like carrying my 15-inch MacBook Pro around. It's kind of heavy, got more stuff, it gets hot. You know, I think even though it seems a little redundant to have two iPads, I think the iPad mini is going to really shine as a reading and research tool, and my iPad is more for photo editing and writing and maybe movie editing, things like that. So there you go. This has been Tris, Editor-in-Chief of iPhoneHacks.com, and my video over review of the iPad mini.